That gaze, it could be as cold as steel or burn with the intensity of fire. That smile, it could hide mysteries or ignite endless curiosity. Burt Lancaster was more than just an actor. He was a storm of emotion on screen, a man seemingly forged from danger and allure. But if we look deeper into that dazzling spotlight, we'll discover a man filled with pain, harboring secrets he tried to bury his entire life. Perhaps now it's time for those invisible scars to be revealed, especially the mysteries and internal battles he bravely endured, stemming from the harsh heart of World War II, a chapter that forever shaped the legend of Burt Lancaster. The hidden scars. Burt Lancaster, with his muscular physique, intensely masculine blue eyes, and radiant smile, was the epitome of a perfect movie star. He effortlessly navigated complex roles from daring criminals to heroic generals, always exuding an almost invincible self-assurance. Yet, behind that formidable exterior lay an inner world filled with pain and carefully guarded personal secrets. Invisible scars that no script could ever fully capture. Burt Lancaster's life didn't begin on the red carpets of Hollywood, but on the dusty streets of East Harlem, New York. Born into a poor Irish immigrant family, where his father worked as a postman and his mother was a devoted homemaker, Burt, born Burton. Stephen Lancaster quickly faced life's harsh realities. His childhood was a struggle through crowded neighborhoods where survival demanded strong will and the ability to defend oneself. He joined street gangs, learning to fight and assert himself. These early experiences, though seemingly distant from his later fame, forged a resilient, self-possessed Lancaster, who also harbored deep, hidden wounds. It was a challenging foundation where he learned that to survive one sometimes had to hide vulnerability and adopt an indifferent facade. When he entered the entertainment world initially as an acrobatic circus performer, Lancaster brought with him the characteristics of someone born from the streets: agility, strength, and a touch of recklessness and rebellion. However, his circus career didn't last. It was during these transitional years before achieving fame that life's imprints began to shape him. He worked various manual labor jobs, struggling to make ends meet, and perhaps those uncertain days sowed the seeds of anxiety and fear of an unstable life, even though he later became a millionaire. On the other hand, Lancaster's romantic life was also a complex picture holding many secrets of loneliness and endless searching. He went through 3 marriages and numerous public relationships. However, maintaining a stable relationship seemed to be a significant challenge for him. It was rumored that his immense career-busy schedule and perhaps unresolved psychological burdens made it difficult for him to fully commit to his personal life. Was he constantly searching for something he couldn't define, or did he fear that commitment might take away the freedom he always craved? Brief affairs and broken marriages could be signs of a lonely heart constantly trying to connect, but struggling to maintain deep bonds. The pressure of being an A-list superstar was also an invisible weight on Lancaster's shoulders. With fame coming so quickly and overwhelmingly after The Killers, 1946, he constantly faced immense expectations from the public and critics. The fear of becoming irrelevant, of not holding his top position, was ever present. He was known to be an extreme perfectionist in his work, always demanding excellence from himself and those around him. This perfectionism could be a driving force, but also a great psychological burden, making it difficult for him to find peace. Perhaps the gritty, complex roles he often embodied also partly reflected his own internal struggle. The conflict between a strong exterior and deep-seated vulnerabilities. Even as old age arrived, accompanied by health challenges, Lancaster tried to maintain his strong image. He faced heart disease strokes and the gradual weakening of his physical self. This was another pain, a secret he had to confront privately, the acceptance that his body no longer obeyed him, the inevitable decline of a legend. These scars, though invisible, shaped a complex, profound Burt Lancaster, forever an icon with mysteries that have never been fully resolved. War made him dangerous. If there's one period in Burt Lancaster's life that holds many mysteries and powerfully shaped who he was, both on and off screen, it's World War II. Though his film career blossomed after the war, his experiences during his military service left a profound imprint, becoming an inseparable part of the dangerous man we knew. This wasn't just a simple chapter in a military biography, but a true internal battle with experiences he likely buried deeply. Burt Lancaster enlisted in the U.S. Army in 1942 as America became fully embroiled in the global conflict. With his robust physique and acrobatic skills from his circus days, he wasn't sent to the front lines for direct combat as a regular infantryman. Instead, he served in the Special Services Division. The primary mission of this unit was to organize performances and entertainment for soldiers in both rear areas and regions near the front. At first glance, this might seem like a light, non-dangerous role. However, it was precisely in this seemingly safe role that Lancaster faced challenges and witnessed scenes that many ordinary people couldn't imagine. One of the biggest mysteries about his time in service is his actual exposure to combat zones. Despite being an entertainer, reports indicate that the Special Services Division often performed in areas very close to the front lines, sometimes just miles from intense fighting. Lancaster, in his role as an acrobat and performer, likely witnessed firsthand the devastating consequences of war-wounded soldiers' faces haunted by death and the tense, mournful atmosphere that permeated the battlefield. He didn't carry a gun to fight, but he stood on makeshift stages trying to bring a fragile shred of joy to soldiers grappling with life and death every day. The contrast between the laughter of the audience and the distant sounds of bombs, between the stage lights and the darkness of war, surely left an indelible mark on his mind. Did he ever perform under bombardment or witness comrades being wounded right after a show? Such stories often remain undisclosed, becoming part of the personal secrets he carried. Moreover, the psychological impact of the war on Lancaster might have been far deeper than what was apparent. Even without being a direct combat soldier, constant exposure to the harsh wartime environment and witnessing human tragedies could have caused simmering psychological trauma. Post-traumatic stress disorder. PTSD is often discussed for combat veterans, but those in support roles, medical personnel, or even entertainers in war zones are not immune to mental distress. The intensity, thoughtfulness, and sometimes melancholic air that emanated from Lancaster's later roles, could these have been his way of releasing the invisible haunting memories from the war? He rarely spoke about his military days, a notable silence that might indicate he wanted to bury painful memories, or simply that what he saw was too horrific to share. The connection between World War II and Lancaster's acting career is undeniable. His acting style was likened to a dormant volcano, calm yet explosive, powerful yet deeply complex internally. This seems to reflect his wartime experiences. The roles he chose later, particularly those of veterans or characters marked by war, were often portrayed by him with chilling authenticity and haunting intensity. Perhaps the best example is his role as Sergeant Milton Warden in From Here to Eternity, 1953, a principled soldier also burdened by tragic love in the context just before Pearl Harbor. Or his role in The Train, 1964, where he played a French train station manager trying to prevent the Nazis from stealing valuable artworks. In these films, Lancaster didn't merely act. He seemed to relive the emotions, tensions, and conflicts he had experienced, albeit indirectly, during the war. Audiences felt a terrifying truthfulness in his every gaze, every gesture, as if he were drawing from the very scars of war to embody the character. The war not only changed the world, but also changed Burt Lancaster. It may have given him deeper insight into human nature, into life and death, into courage and fear. Those experiences, though not direct combat, shaped his toughness, internal depth, and a certain danger that always lurked within him. The mysteries surrounding Lancaster's military service may never be fully resolved, but they contributed to creating a complex, captivating cinematic legend, forever a great enigma in Hollywood history. The Ghost of the Past and the Rise to Stardom. The pained personal secrets, and especially the haunting experiences from World War II, weren't just isolated pieces in Burt Lancaster's life. They intertwined, creating an invisible yet powerful ghost of the past that profoundly shaped his acting style and his very way of living. It was from these burdens that the dangerous and captivating Lancaster on screen was forged, simultaneously revealing his remarkable ascent as an individual. The influence of these secrets on Lancaster's role choices and lifestyle is evident. He wasn't the type of actor who merely read lines and displayed superficial emotions. Instead, he was renowned for his ability to delve deep into a character's psyche, bringing a chilling authenticity to his performances. His roles often featured complex men, strong yet vulnerable, principled yet possessing hidden facets. Was this his way of seeking resonance with himself? Embodying characters burdened by psychological weight, those who faced pressure and a painful past, as in Birdman of Alcatraz, 7 Days in May, or Atlantic City, might have been a form of therapy, a way for him to indirectly confront and release the repressed emotions from his difficult childhood, unfulfilled relationships, and particularly the haunting memories from his wartime service. The danger that emanated from Lancaster wasn't just his muscular physique or piercing gaze. It was also the danger of a sharp intellect, an iron will, and a profound inner world that others found difficult to penetrate. It was like a perfect shell to conceal inner wounds, a self-defense mechanism built from years of struggling with life and survival. For him, perhaps displaying strength and invulnerability was the only way to cope with a harsh world and unspeakable personal secrets. That danger was in reality the result of a painful forging process, transforming fear and scars into strength. However, beyond the ghosts of the past, Burt Lancaster also stands as a testament to an extraordinary rise. From an East Harlem street kid, an acrobatic circus performer, to one of the greatest stars of all time, he fought relentlessly to establish himself. His obsessive perfectionism, his relentless desire to learn and improve himself, such as his self-education in reading, exploring literature and art to deepen his knowledge and acting prowess, are the clearest evidence of this resilient spirit. The wounds, though painful, did not defeat him. Instead, they became material fuel that propelled him further in his career and life. Burt Lancaster's legacy, therefore, is not just a long list of classic films or prestigious awards. It is also the story of a complex, mysterious man who transformed life's burdens into artistic depth. His secrets, now slowly being unveiled, do not dim his radiance, but rather enhance the allure and profundity of one of Hollywood's greatest stars. They make him more human, more relatable, and most importantly, they make us understand that behind every great figure lies a story of struggle and immense effort. Burt Lancaster lived a life where danger, pain, and secrets intertwined, creating a truly unique individual. He did not shy away from his past, but in some way turned it into a part of his art, so that now those secrets are finally brought to light, helping us perceive a cinematic legend through a more authentic and profound lens than ever before. Whispers from the Past. Burt Lancaster is an old friend of memory, a part of films that have endured through the years, evoking an era where values of strength, courage, and even simmering pain were depicted with haunting authenticity. When we look back at him, we don't just see a talented actor, but a mirror reflecting the pains that the times imposed on generations especially those who once wore the soldier's uniform. For many of us, particularly veterans or those who witnessed the tumultuous years of World War II, firsthand, Lancaster didn't just act. He seemed to relive the emotions we ourselves experienced, the hardening against loss, the weight of responsibility, and the deep loneliness of carrying one's own secrets. Perhaps these were silent battles, in the soul-haunting memories, from air raid sirens or the faces of comrades who never returned. Recall his weary yet determined gaze as Sergeant Warden in From Here to Eternity, a patriotic soldier struggling with regulations and love on the eve of Pearl Harbor. Or imagine him straining amidst the German encirclement to save invaluable artworks in The Train. Not just a chase, but a battle of conscience and honor. These films were not merely entertainment. They were the heartfelt expressions Lancaster's deep empathy with the people who lived through the Great War. Though he served only in an entertainment role, he was there very close to the front lines, witnessing the tears, the strained smiles of soldiers. And perhaps he profoundly understood the true cost of peace. We saw him bravely face storms on screen, but perhaps the greatest storms were those within his own soul. The scars from a difficult childhood, the broken relationships, and especially the shadow of war, not only forged a dangerous and captivating man, but also created a compassionate heart that deeply understood life. He never flaunted his pain, but instead wrapped it into every gaze, every gesture, allowing us to feel it most genuinely through his poignant performances. And now, as Burt Lancaster's secrets are gradually revealed, we don't just discover more about a cinematic legend. We also get to reflect on a part of ourselves of our generation. His pain, his resilience, and the mysteries he carried all serve as a reminder that life is always full of challenges, but it's how we face and overcome them that defines a person's true worth. Burt Lancaster has left this world, but his story, his old scars, and the light they cast will forever be a part of our collective memory. An emotional whisper from the past, reminding us of the great individuals who once lived, fought, and overcame every storm. We believe that for those who lived through that era, the films and stories of Burt Lancaster will evoke many memories and emotions. Do you have any memories of Burt Lancaster, or a film of his that left a deep impression on you? Or perhaps you'd like to share your personal wartime experiences. Feel free to leave a comment below so we can converse and revisit these precious memories together. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss other interesting stories.